Hello, I'm here to walk you through the ELCI application process for both students who are seeking conditional admission to the University of Minnesota Duluth, as well as for students who are looking for an English language only program. First, I'd recommend that you go to the admissions.d.umn.edu website. From there, you can scroll down and go to the International Students link. Then I'd recommend you scroll down to the bottom and click on the application deadline for fall button. From here, as a new applicant, you will create an account. If you have created an account previously but are looking to enter your account again but can't remember your password, you can recover your password here. So let's go in to create an account. From here, you will enter your first name or given name, as well as your last name or surname or family name, as well as your email address that you prefer to be contacted at. And then you will confirm that same email address here. Finally, you will create a password and confirm your password. So now that we have your account created and set up, let's log in. I'm logging into my test application. So for me, I'll click Edit, and I'll show you what you will see. So you will see many different blanks. You will include your first name or your given name, your middle name if you have one, and your last name or family name or surname here. If you have a different name that you prefer using, you can select this box and include the name that you prefer to be called. In addition, if you have a different name that you went by or any records by a different name, you will include this information here. Many times this is if a student is married and their name changes. Then you will include your date of birth, including the month, day, and year. You can either type it here or you can include it within the selectable options within the calendar. Next, we have the Social Security number. Generally, international students do not have this number. This is only for U.S. citizens or those who work in the U.S. Students will receive this after they become a degree-seeking student and seek out a job. Then the next questions are on sex and gender identity. Please be sure to read this section above, as well as looking through the additional questions. If you have any questions about this section, please be sure to contact us at the International Programs and Services Office, and we'll be sure to help you with this process. We will go to the Save and Continue button. Then you will include that same email address that you used to create your account. Again, this is where we will contact the student based on the application. If you are an agent working with the student, please be sure to indicate that on the personal statement essay or within any of the additional boxes with additional information so that we know that that student is working with your agency. Okay, next we will have you put the permanent address, so the home address of the student. You will make sure to indicate the country as well as the postal code and their street address, as well as any additional information. If you have any questions about these things, please be sure to let us know. Next is the mailing address. If this information matches the permanent address, you can select this box here, and it will autofill that information. If not, you can unselect that and include all of the mailing information that is different from the permanent home address. Next, you will indicate a home phone number and a cell phone number for the student. Please make sure to use the country codes for those students, and if there are any problems, please be sure to let us know. Save and continue. And it looks like I missed a field, so I'm going to say my mailing address is the same as my permanent address. Next are questions about ethnicity and race. And so you can choose those that apply to your specific background. Next are questions about residency, about where you are living, as well as your citizenship status. And so if you are a U.S. citizen, you can include yes, and if not, no. You will also need to choose one of the following. And so U.S. permanent residents or green card holders are not quite U.S. citizens, but they have some additional rights and various provisions. If you are a U.S. temporary visa holder, perhaps you have an F1 visa or a J1 visa already, or some other type of visa. Next, we have I will need a visa to study in the United States. This is if you have not been to the U.S. before and you have not applied for an F1 visa. The next option is if you are a refugee or political asylee in the United States. And then the last option is if you're not certain or if you are none of the above. Next, you'll include your country of citizenship, your country of birth, and your city of birth. Finally, you'll be asked if you are living in the United States, and you can say yes or no. So I will say no. The next section is about family background. And so the first question is about a first-generation college student. So students are first-generation college students if neither parent or guardian has received a 4-year undergraduate degree from a college or university. If that applies to you, you can select yes, and if not, you can select no. The next question is about if your family has worked at the University of Minnesota. If not, you can choose no, and if yes, you can choose yes, of course. And then you can include additional information in the box below if that does apply to you. We'll save and continue. The next section is very important, so we will look at the enrollment information. So if you are applying as an ELCI student, we'll have you choose the fourth option, the non-degree seeking exchange student or ELCI student. And then you will also include the semester that you are applying for. So I've chosen spring 2021. Next, you will include that you are studying for non-degree English Language and Culture Institute. The alternative major of choice is going to be non-degree CLA, or College of Liberal Arts. Next, you can include some kind of statement about your intentions. If you plan to study at the English Language and Culture Institute and then apply for conditional admission at the University of Minnesota Duluth, for example, I would ask that you include a statement similar to the following. I intend to study at the English Language and Culture Institute and apply for UMD's conditional admission program. I've included the major as well, so in accounting. So this is just a sample, but I would ask that you include your English language plans as well as your academic plans if you have them. Otherwise, if you are studying English language only and do not intend to take academic courses, you can say, I intend to study at the English Language and Culture Institute only. And then in the next section, you can leave that blank. As for the future plans, these questions are optional. However, if you'd like to indicate your future plans after you graduate from the university, please be sure to do those here and mention any programs that you're interested in. We'll say save and continue. Education background. So this is the section that asks about your native language. So you'll be sure to include that English is not your native language and include your native language as well as how many years you've attended in the United States. If you have not attended school in the US, you can include none or 0 years. And this final question is, have you enrolled in an English language program? If this is a specific English language program outside of your high school, you can include yes and indicate where the program is. If no, then we will have you say no. Next is the high school information. So this asks to enter your high school or secondary school graduation month and year. And so I'm going to say June 2019. So it's a drop-down list here. And then we also are asked to include our high school that we attended. And if you have attended multiple high schools, you can do so there. and indicate those high schools. So I'm going to select Edit just to show you what information is included. So I've included the high school name. If you cannot find the high school name, please select I can't find my high school, and it will include some additional questions. Then you include when you started the school, including the month and the year, and the end date, so the month and the year here as well. And then you will say Save School. This question asks, have you previously enrolled at the U of M, meaning the University of Minnesota? Generally, students will answer no here unless they attended the MELP program previously, which is through the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. And then college information. So we can go to Edit. I included this college, Cartago University. And I've included that I couldn't find my college, so I entered the information in. And then I also completed 12 credits. So this is an example. And I also included my start date and end date, as well as a degree that I earned. In this case, the degree was not earned, so I did not include the degree name, but you can choose the degree if applicable. And then you will say Save School. However, I did not make any changes, so I'm going to say Cancel. And then you can choose your curriculum. So if you cannot find your curriculum, you can choose Other. However, if you do, say for example, you have a dual curriculum, maybe your high school has a relationship with a US school and you get a high school diploma from your country as well as from the US, you would say dual curriculum, dual degree, or dual high school degree program. Next, we can say Save and Continue. These activities are optional. If you participate in some of these activities and they're offered at your high school, please be sure to indicate them. Next, you'll include your activities that you participate inside and outside of school. So please be sure to indicate those. Then we will say Save and Continue. If you have any work experience, you can include that here, including your place of employment, job title, city, state, hours per week, and when you have those jobs. This is generally for domestic students. However, if you would like to include your work experience there, you may do so. This next question is about military service. Have you ever served in the U.S. military? Generally, this answer is no. Here is some additional required information, and this is asked from all students. And so these questions may be a little strange, but this is required by the Institute just to make sure that our students are aware of our policies. So please be sure to let us know if you have any questions in this section. Say Save and Continue. Next is a short answer section where you will ask any questions you may have, or you will indicate anything that was not put on your application that you think we should consider. Perhaps your high school grades were very low one year and you changed your grades and they became much better. You could perhaps explain what happened during that year if you were afraid of the admissions review not favoring your application. So this is a very good place to explain. Or to tell a personal story. We do a holistic application review, so we like to see more about our students and know what their interests are. So I'll ask you to save and continue. This next section is to add access to your file. So if you want anyone to have access, like a parent or a legal agent, you can add them here. This next section is about waiving an application fee. However, this does not apply to international students. So we'll ask that you indicate no. Finally, you may review any of your information that was submitted previously here by clicking on the following links. And the final section is an electronic signature. So you may read through these sections, and once you have done so and agree, you will select the following box. And then you will include your email address and your password that you selected for your account creation. Then you will click Submit. Almost immediately upon submitting your application, you will be notified that your application has been received, and we will contact you regarding the next steps. We hope to welcome you to our campus very soon, and please be sure to reach out to us if you have any questions. We are more than happy to help, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.